Hi, so today we're going to talk about different ways you can name a cat or a kitten. And if you keep watching, I will tell you how I named all my cats. And if you watch clear to the end, I will show you my new cat painting. So the first way is a human name, and to get ideas, you could go through baby books, like baby name books or baby name list online to see if that would give you ideas. Or there's actually a list of cat names online that you can go through. Another way to do it is based on their appearance. So that would be something like calling a long hair cat Fluffy because it looks fluffy. Or you could do it based on their color. Just be sure that you're picking something that does not sound racist or offensive, because you'll be saying the name at the vet, and obviously you probably don't want to intentionally offend anybody with the cat's name. Or you can use a name from a character from your favorite TV show or movie that you like. Or you can even give them like funny names, like based on foods. Like with cats, usually they don't respond to their names that well. Like with my cats anyway, they respond better to like a sound, like to call them. Or maybe it's just a tone of voice that I use when I say their name. Like I've actually tested it where I say like a different name using the same tone and they seem to respond. Or they could just be ignoring me most of the time anyway. And with cats, like let's say you pick a name for a kitten based on their personality and they end up changing as they get older. Well, you can just give the cat a different nickname and then that would be fine too. Like you wouldn't want to change the official name at the vet, or I guess you could. Some vets would probably be like, okay. But for record keeping, you might want to keep it the same. But cats can have tons of nicknames. That's also fun to call them different names. So those are some ideas of how to name your cat. And I will get started with the names of my cats. And there should be a picture appearing somewhere, so you can see a picture of all of them. The ones with rainbows in the corner are cats that have passed away. We'll start with Taco, since he's on my lap. So Taco was a cat that was in my sister's yard. Her dog found him, and he was actually a little sick, very sick. He had bad eye infection. Anyway, eventually he made it to my house, and my husband and I were trying to think of a name, and I was really hungry, and I like tacos, so we just decided to call him Taco. The first two cats we had were Lena and Kilala back in 2003 is when we adopted them as kittens, and they were named off of anime character names from anime that my husband and I were watching at the time. And then came along our sweet Buster. Buster was an amazing cat, and I think we got his name from a friend on Facebook. Like, he showed up as a stray, and we decided we were going to try to help him, and I said, well, what should we name this cat? And I'm pretty sure one of my friends said Buster, and we liked it, so we kept it. And then the next three cats came at the same time. We had Violet, Jake, and Elwood. So Violet brought kittens to my yard, and we decided to rescue them. So Violet got her name because she's so pretty, and purple is my favorite color. I felt weird saying purple as a cat name, but I like Violet too. So Violet's kind of like a human name given to a cat, but it's also a color, and it's also beautiful like her. And then to keep her kittens, Jake and Elwood, my husband only agreed to keep them if he got to name them. But he named them Jake and Elwood after the Blues Brothers movie. They're brothers in that movie. I had not seen the movie at the time, so I just said okay because I really wanted to keep them. And then we had Nacho. Well, Taco came next. We already talked about his name. Nacho, well, I actually stole that name. So I was at the vet one day before we had Nacho, and there was a dog there. It was a little wiener dog named Nacho. And I thought, well, if I ever get another cat, we're going to call it Nacho, because Nacho can be for a girl or a boy. And then Chloe, a feral cat in our neighborhood, had kittens in my yard one day unexpectedly. And that's where Nacho came from. She is one of the rescued kittens. But we did not name Chloe. So Chloe's name was actually from the man who was initially her feeder, and she had moved on away from his yard for some unknown reason, because we were not even putting food in our yard then. And so we didn't actually name her. He did, but we just kept calling her Chloe. You know, sometimes with neighborhood cats, like every person might have a different name for the same cat. Our last indoor cat is Charlotte, and we took her from a friend who had been calling her Mama because she had had kittens when she was living outdoors. But when we took her in, of course, my friend had gotten her fixed by then, so no more kittens for her. My husband chose the name Charlotte. I'm not sure how or why. He just thought that was a pretty name. So that's how Charlotte was named. So now we'll move on to the outdoor cats. So we had Midnight, and he was a black cat, so he got a stereotypical black cat name. We just called him Midnight because he was black, and he showed up around midnight. So when he first showed up, he was only showing up on the trail camera. That's the only reason why we even knew he was out there, because he was a new cat on the camera, and eventually became pretty friendly with me. That's how he was named. And then one of his friends was a gray and white cat, and we got that one fixed too. He wasn't really friendly enough to be rescued. So I asked my mom what she thought we should name him, and she said Charcoal. So that's how he got his name. And then there was Pork Chop. He's the orange and white tabby. So we've been feeding him for about 6 or 7 years now. And for his name, he was a very feral cat. So we tracked him to get him fixed. In the clinic we use, they want a name on the form. And I don't like just doing cat A, B, C, D. I like cats to have a real name, even if I may never see him again, because sometimes you trap these cats and they're like, well, we're never going back to that yard. But Pork Chop stuck around, and I was making pork chops when he went into the trap, so I just put Pork Chop on the form, and it's a kind of a cute name, and it stuck, so that's how he got his name. Then our newest outdoor cat, he's been out there about 2 years now, is Winter, who doesn't look like any of the other neighborhood cats, so who knows where he came from, if he was dumped or what, or if he just got lost, who knows. Anyway, he showed up in the winter, and we thought he was going to be a temporary cat because he kind of seemed like he could be socialized, but that didn't really work out, so he's still out in the yard. But I just put Winter on the form because it was winter, and we were watching a show where there was a Detective Winter on the show, so we kind of got Winter 2 ways. So I think I covered all of the cats. If you have some unique story about how you named your cat, just please put it in the comment. Maybe that would give someone else an idea. And now I will show you my artwork. So I painted this a couple weeks ago, probably by now. Here's the big reveal. It's just a simple painting. So it's a sunset or a sunrise with a tree and a cat watching it. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and thanks again. Have a great day with your cats. Do you want a hug? I don't think he wants a hug.